Verizon is planning to cut around 15,000 jobs, which is about 15% of its workforce. This move comes soon right after they just hired a new CEO who is executing, it seems like, a major restructuring. Here's what I want you guys to remember. Pay attention to the industry that you're in. Do not get caught off guard. And here's why. Maple, and welcome to the Women Who Lead Network, where we talk about everything entrepreneurship, workforce development, leadership, and living a purpose-driven life. All right, so we just talked about why does it matter that Verizon is laying off 15,000 employees? Well, here's a couple of reasons. One, for employees, represents significant job uncertainty. When a major organization is instituting large cuts like this, it creates ripple effects in morale, security, and trust, because no one knows if they're on the chopping block. So if you can imagine you coming into work every day and you really don't know if you're going to be escorted out. HR executives in this moment, come on now, leaders. This is the type of change, as you know, it introduces major leadership challenges, managing culture, trust, disruption, and handling communication, and really trying to maintain some psychological safety. Because of everything that's happening right now, I can tell you now, there's a fear of uncertainty. And everyone is pretty much on the edge. It's right before the holidays. So not only is everything more expensive, the food is expensive, the cost of goods is expensive, cost of services is expensive. Now people are being laid off before the holidays. If they do that, and as you're letting people go, I can tell you this, they probably are like, okay, more than likely everyone is on the edge. And for leaders, when you're putting out and having conversations with people, letting them know that you have to let them go, you have to practice some type of psychological safety. And in addition to that, for anyone in that industry, it is signaling a shift in telecom workforce strategy, which could imply more automation, right? And potentially a different value proposition for the business. So if you're there now, you really have to pay attention to see where does your new CEO leader is looking to next? Where does he see that Verizon is headed? And based on that, you want to make sure you're preparing yourself. What are some of the things that you need to do to upskill your what are some things you need to do to upskill your skills? What are some of the things that you need to know? What educational training do you need to be able to take? What classes do you need to take? What stuff do you need to invest in? Because the goal is, just like with anything, you know how the market constantly changes and you have to change and evolve with it. If we stay the same and complacent, complacency brings in uncertainty and you don't know what's going to happen next. So you always want to be on your guard and pay attention to what's happening. Now, for leaders and managers, here's what I'm going to recommend. Be intentional with your communication. You know what? In times of layoffs and restructuring, pay attention to how you are talking to people and how much change is stuff and how it matters. How it matters, how you're communicating with them. Show some empathy, show some compassion. Because the reality is that next week it may be your job. So you want to make sure that you're not being disrespectful and respectful in such a way, because people have come in every day. They are doing a great job. They are coming in, doing their work, and now they're being let go. So if you're the ones as you're laying them off, pay attention to how you're doing this. And let me say this, when people feel at risk, engagement drops and innovation slows down. So again, watch that culture of what's happening in your workplace when people are under stress. Again, express empathy, transparency, and trustworthiness is going to be critical when for people who are left there. Because, once the rift happens, the people that are left are like, woof, but it's still going to be feel untrustworthy. I remember when I worked at a company, I'll never forget this. And I went into this this individual's office and I said, "You don't have anything in here." Like it was very empty. And she said, no, because if they let me go tomorrow, I don't have to carry out a lot of stuff. I was like, wow. So think about that. That's the culture because they had a mass layoff. So you just want to pay attention to how you're recovering after this. What is going to be the culture for Verizon, I wonder, after they let go of these 15,000 people? What is the CEO going to implement to his direct reports, and they're going to be flowing down? It's going to be interesting to see what happens next as a result of this, and how the people in there are going to survive, really how they're going to thrive and not operate in a behavior of survival. Now, for employees who have been impacted or not impacted, well, I want to make sure you understand and stay informed. Know what's being publicly reported. Pay attention. Pay attention to what they're saying inside of the work, right? In the workplace, because you're probably getting more information. And, you know, it's going to really show what is happening with Verizon. And also to own your own narrative. No one gets to dictate what makes you amazing, what makes you awesome. And if your role may be impacted, just start thinking proactively about your value, your network, and your steps. Don't be reactive, be proactive. And if you need to take time off, if you are impacted, do that. But while you're doing that, making sure that you apply, to get some type of benefits, if your state offers it, so that you're not just left with nothing. Okay. Hopefully, they're going to be giving you guys some type of severance package for those who have been there. If you've been there for a long period of time, take advantage of that. Sometimes the severance package includes taking additional training. So pay attention to that. Just don't feel like this is it and that you're at a standstill. Just keep moving, taking a little bit of a step every day so that you're just not paralyzed and not taking any type of action. And then manage your well-being. A change like this can trigger anxiety. I've been there, done that. And it can also trigger disengagement. And, make sure you just maintain some type of routine and support systems in place so that you just don't feel left alone. That's the last thing you want, is to feel left alone and that no one is there to, you don't have any words of encouragement for you. And then again, get clarity as possible. Here's what I'm going to recommend. If you're by community colleges, take advantage of that. They can help you with your resume. They can help you. They can't help. They're not a job placement facility. Let me say that. But they can help you with your resume. It's a community college, so it's for the community. And they can help you figure out how to find jobs, especially now. And really, it's a great place for you to get support system as well, because they can offer great advice. All right. Follow me more for updates and tips in the workforce, in leadership, entrepreneurship, and living a purpose-driven life. Bye now.